Hi everyone, it's Melanie Wagner, speech language pathologist at Eli Terry, and I'm recording today to discuss the different ways you can back up your child or your student's communication device so you have a copy saved from home. A lot of our devices you're able to actually save the format that your child is using at school, and you can either save it to like a cloud-based iShare type service. You can save it to a Dropbox account if you have a Dropbox account. That's something you may be interested in having for this purpose, or you can save it to iTunes and connect through the iPad cable to your computer. And then last, some devices actually have you make your own account in their system and share it to their system, and they will store your child's profile for you that way. So I'm going to review all those different ways to back up your child's account if you make any big edits or you want to really have a profile yourself along with school's backed up version, which we attempt to do periodically, but it doesn't always happen because it gets kind of crazy with how many devices are here. We try our best to restore and to back up the devices as frequently as possible. But things happen, accidents happen, devices get broken, vocabularies get edited and deleted, so we love to have multiple copies to restore if at all possible. So if you have any questions about specific device or backup specific to your child's device, please feel free to email me and we could set up a time to chat, or if it's a simple question, send me an email anytime and I will try to get back to you about backing up your child's device. All right, the first device I'm going to back up is TouchChat, and I just realized that I'm backwards, so bear with me as I figure out how to demonstrate this backwards. So vocab is over here on the side that you can't see, and menu is right here. In order to back up your vocabulary or to create a backup, first of all, make sure you're in your own vocabulary. So go in and make sure you're in one of these green vocabularies. And if you haven't made a vocabulary, or if the staff hasn't made a vocabulary, make sure you email me and we'll make a vocabulary for your student, and it will be labeled so-and-so's vocabulary. So this, I'm just going to use copy here for demonstration purposes. So now I know I'm in my child or my student's vocabulary. And you're going to go to menu, and you're going to go to settings. And under settings, that's how you would save your profile. So this could be the latest version of your vocabulary, and you can call it, so-and-so 2021 or whatever you want to do. And that will save the profile. Right now I have it as test. You can save it that way and then be all done with it. Okay, so when you go back to vocabulary and you click on your vocabulary, and make sure that green check mark is on there, you can go to menu and you can go to import and export the vocabulary or the iShare services. If you want to do the iShare services, you can sign up for it for yourself under your own email address, and then you would create a password, and that would back up everything to iShare for you, and you can log into your account and do it that way. You can also import and export it from iTunes or from Dropbox. I would recommend doing both if you can. If you have a device at home that is your device and you can log into iTunes and get it that way. If you have a school device, I recommend at least sharing it to Dropbox. That way when it comes into school, I can find the file and save it myself as well. You can also, share this copy and export it anyway through an email, or you can send it to airdrop it to somebody, or however you want to do it. the best way to do it would be probably to email a copy to yourself. That way, if it's deleted somehow and I don't have a copy, you can always email me a copy. All right, so that was how you would back up TouchChat. And we're always trying to remember to do it frequently at school, but if you are making a lot of edits or you're adding a bunch of family pictures or activities your student likes to do at home on their talker, just make sure you back it up because we would never want you to lose it. Something else I wanted to show you specifically for TouchChat before I switch to the next device is you can go into the iPad settings themselves and look for TouchChat, and then you can turn off editing for your student. That way they can't be allowed to edit anything. Just remember that you've done that, so if you go in to edit and you cannot figure out how to, it might be that this is turned off in the menu settings. So turn off and on through the main settings, iOS settings, but I would turn it off for most of my student users because I have plenty that have been known to erase or accidentally edit a bunch of their vocabulary and then it's gone. So just make sure you allow editing when you're editing and then turn that off right here if you are done and about to give it back to your child. Okay, another AAC backup that I wanted to show everyone is TD Snap. So for my Tobii Dynavox users, TD Snap is actually all done via the cloud. So we would set it up by, once you edit this, you would click on this little cloud. You're going to enter your Tobii Dynavox email and password. If you don't have one, create one. It's easy, it's free. MyTobiiDynavox.com. Put your own email and create a password, and it will save a version of the latest vocabulary to your profile. That way, if it's ever lost, you have a copy. You can always send it to me that way, or I will, update as much as possible to my own school email. But that's the easiest way to do it through Tobii Dynavox. Okay, and my last device is Proloquo to go. And similar to TouchChat, you should really go into the iOS settings, find the Proloquo to go app, and switch the option button to on if it's turned off. Oftentimes it is turned off so your child or your student does not have access to the editing features within Proloquo to go. So make sure it's turned on because you need editing on to back it up. Alright, so after that you can turn on your Proloquo to go. You can find your little gear. Oh, I'm already ahead of myself here. Make sure your user has a name, so make sure you have a profile name, as long as it doesn't just say, Proloquo to go. Make your own copy. It's very easy to click in here and make your own copy. And then you're going to go down to backup, and you're going to hit backup all users or backup whatever specific one you're on right now, and that will back it up to iCloud automatically. So this saves it to the iCloud. If you don't have it set up to back up to the iCloud for whatever reason, you can always send it to Dropbox, and Dropbox will pop open. You'll put all of your information in if you have a Dropbox account. If you don't have a Dropbox account, you can sign up for one. That's up to you if you would like to. I usually encourage families to sign up for a Dropbox account, but it doesn't always happen because I do understand that there are millions of accounts out there right now for all of our students, and it's hard to keep track of everything. You can also attempt to sign in through iTunes. And sorry, I'm distracted. Sign in through iTunes and do it attempt to do it that way. I usually recommend families to back up through Google Drive. So that's just putting in all of your information from Google Drive if you have a Google Drive account. If you don't have a Google Drive account, you can export it. How do you export it? You click on export, and you can export it to iTunes just like I had mentioned before. And you can also attempt to connect it to the computer via the Apple iPad cable. All right, so that is Proloquo. Several different ways to restore these if anything were to happen.